Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Regular Joe Gamers podcast. This is episode number 23. We are recording the night of the 22nd of April, a skosh after 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So here with me, as always, I have the wily, the conniving Miss Chemical Rachel.
Hi.
And big man, big boss, editor-in-chief of Gamersphere, John Heatz.
Hello, everyone.
Hey. So, I want to hit you guys up with a discussion topic right off the bat. Because, I just wanted to surprise you and not go straight into the news like we normally do. But, a little thing that I've been kind of mulling over in my head is, it's going to sound weird when I say it, but gaming performance. And what I mean by that is, how... So I have this thing where every once in a while, I always hit this point where I'm like, man, I haven't gotten enough gaming done, right? So I tend to measure my gaming performance by time. But in the last few years and these last console generations, we've gotten all sorts of different things, right? So when I was a kid growing up, it was like high scores, and now these days we have gamer scores and trophies and leaderboards and multiplayer online and ladders and all this kind of stuff. So, since Elder Scrolls Online is going to be launching here in another couple weeks, and we're going to have probably some pretty heated competition amongst players in that game, I was just kind of wondering how you guys approach that topic. John, you wanna take that one first?
Well, why not?
Go for it.
Well, I'm a really competitive player whenever I get a lot into a game. For example, right now I am playing a lot of Warframe, the third-person shooter free-to-play game. And
Now, are you playing that? Are you playing that on the PS3 or the PC or both?
that's on PC.
Yeah.
I am a PC gamer mostly, and I'm not sure. I don't think it is on PS3, but
It's on
it is.
PS4. It's not on PS3.
Oh, right.
PS4.
Yeah, sorry. See what I mean, Rachel? That's what I mean right there when I talk about like the things that I should know, like right off my fingertips. Like that's the stuff you always know.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah, but when it comes to competitiveness, like when it comes to MMO games, as you mentioned with the Elder Scrolls Online, well, it mostly comes with the PvP aspect of those games. And for example, some years ago, I was playing this one game from Area Games, Shaya, and the whole game was basically to get you geared up to PvP, because it was it wasn't all that long. You could like hit the maximum level and get all geared up in a matter of months if you played constantly.
Yeah, and that's kind of I mean, some people. I mean, I think they kind of made comments like that about like the single player campaigns in Call of Duty. That's really kind of like a training round for multiplayer. And Battlefield 1942, when it first came out, had an offline mode that you could play against bots, mainly for training, and so did Unreal Tournament. So,
Well, Call of Duty now has a training mode thing where you can play offline mode, but with bots.
yeah, I had her. Actually, I've got a buddy who is trying to convince me to get back into Call of Duty, and he mentioned that. So that's awesome. I just
And the bots are actually like have the names of your friends on your friends list. It's kind of funny.
that's awesome.
It's like a random bunch of people on your friends list,
See,
but it's not really them.
Unreal Tournament always did that, and I just felt like that to me is essential because I don't always want to play with other people, and I can't always find other people to play with that I know. But like I love going into matches with my buddies and filling out our teams with bots. So now I'm playing with just people that I know, which to me is a much more fun and intimate gaming experience. But we can fill the thing out and have it not just be 2-on-2. So I'm sorry, John. Go ahead with what you were saying. Sorry.
Well, it isn't that much like as you're saying it. Like when it comes to online games, normally the whole idea of leveling up and grinding and all that, going through the main campaign of the game, is just like a training course that you kind of have to take in order to be able to go into the multiplayer aspect of the game. And I really haven't seen a lot on the Elder Scrolls Online PvP aspect, to be honest. But
We, you, you know who would know all about that? That 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 girl over there. See her right there? She knows all that stuff.
No, that's Dre that knows all that stuff about Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah.
So, John, before I pass it over to Rachel, did that pretty much cover what you were going to say, or?
yeah, pretty much like when it comes to competitiveness and everything, I do not really think that it's for absolutely everyone, because some people will like just um, to play a little bit on the story and everything and try to avoid other people, while some others will just try to rush through the campaign in order to get to multiplayer and start like killing everyone, you know?
Yeah. Right. So, Rachel, what are your thoughts on this topic?
I like achievements
Okay,
and
so
trophies.
trophies.
Yeah, I like those a lot. it, that that's pretty much the thing I like a lot. I go a lot after trophies and achievements. I mean, usually I try to play through the story mode like once, and then I go back and wipe up achievements if I have them left.
So now, when you log on, right, or you go to a website and you see your gamer score badge there,
Yeah.
and you see your gamer score, your trophy list, do you consciously compare that to like other gamers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Especially my friends. Um, my friends that I know play the same games. And I'm also a crazy person, as we've discussed before. And I'll own something on the Xbox and like I'll rent it on the PS3
Okay.
if the trophy list is good.
Right.
Or I'll just rebuy it. Like I think I bought the Walking Dead Telltale game like 3 times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 3 times because I bought it for the 360, the PS3, and the Vita
Okay. All right.
to get each separate trophy slash
Trophies.
achievement
Do the
list. Yeah.
are the Vita trophies additive? So if you earn the same trophy in that game that you on the Vita that you already earned on the PS3, does it add to your score?
Yeah, because the Vita version is different.
Okay.
Not all of them do it like that. Like
Right.
some games, if you own it on the PS3 and you buy the Vita version, they're separate entities.
Okay.
Some games they're not.
Okay. All right. So for me personally, and I think without me asking you guys directly, you answered kind of one of my ancillary questions to this, which was, is your however you measure gaming performance, is it introspective or extrospective? And it sounds like for you guys, it's externalized. Well, at least for you, Rachel. Um, and John, you said you're very competitive. Is your take on that you're competitive against like an internal measurement, or are you looking out at how you compare to other players?
Well, depends on the game, because sometimes when I was an RPG gamer, I tried to be the best of my class, like always trying to improve myself, and by doing so, I was at the same time I was like getting better compared to everyone else, you know.
So it's a little bit of
And
both.
yes, it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. So for me, and a lot of it is driven by how I grew up, just um, because I spent a lot of time predominantly as an only child, and a lot of how I approach entertainment and content. You know, it's probably going to sound sad, but I would like to think that it helped with develop my imagination. But I had to spend a lot of time like learning how to play board games, by myself, because I didn't have somebody else there to play with. But
I'm in the same boat. I was an only child, and I didn't have anybody to play board games with.
I was too lazy to learn to play them.
So for me, that measurement of gaming performance has always been internal. It's always been me challenging myself, and quite honestly, a lot of times I dispense with it because I don't really care about how I need to run a race well enough to pass that level, which in a lot of games is you have to come in the top three. In some games, it's you have to win the race. So the game in and of itself has a construct that forces me to compete against, my own sense of however I did on that race last time. But predominantly it's my own just kind of internal measurement. And again, I measure a lot just based on time. Hey, I really didn't get a lot of gaming done this week. That's poor performance. I need to do something about that. Um,
Yeah, man, you really need to do something about it.
so, so, but by the same token, externally, I tend not to compete with people. Like when I do play Call of Duty, my philosophy can be summed up as I don't I don't need to win matches. I just like to, and I don't mind coming in the bottom of a match. I just like periodically coming in the middle, right? And as long as in an hour of play, I finish a handful of matches like in the as high as number 3 or 4, then I'm pretty happy, because I know that I'm just not putting in the time uh, or the care that other people are who are at the top. Um, I will say in games though I do like the concept of leaderboards. So that has been one of the better uh, implementations for me in externalizing my concept of my gaming performances. I will, in a racing game in particular, I do love going to a map and seeing people on my friends list and going, okay, that guy beat my time by like 0.2 seconds. Yeah, let me keep running this track until I'm on top of him, and then I send him like a nasty message and say, hey, dude, I just beat your time on this
It
track.
beat you.
Right,
Man, boo boo.
right, exactly. Um, so yeah,
Now, I'm a lot more competitive than that. Like, especially when it comes to online games like Call of Duty or Battlefield. I like being in the top
okay,
few.
okay,
Mostly because it's like, hey, look, a girl can beat you. Haha.
right, right.
When I played RPG games, like this one that I mentioned, Shaya, I actually even also worked on developing some private servers of the game. And we normally had a PHP file that was there only to show like a ranking of the best PvPers of
Okay,
the server.
very cool.
So in there, I always loved to be on the first page. Like it would show the top 50 on the first page. I needed to be on that page, else I was gonna feel like bad. I didn't really aim to be number one because the race I play on absolutely every RPG is Defender.
Okay.
So I was not the kind of character that would go and inflict some damage. I was the one who would protect the party and take on the attacks of 30 people at the same time without dying.
Okay. So let me ask you guys this then. In a world, it's my movie trailer voice. So in a world where there is for you guys some externalization of measuring of your gaming performance, how do you? I mean, so there are some games that still come out that are completely canned experiences, right? They are completely internalized. There's not even a leaderboard. It's wholly within. I mean, John, you're a big fan of Outlast, right? That's a completely canned game. There isn't any externalization of how you do, are you guys able to enjoy those experiences in the same way, or do you play through those games and feel like, man, this game would be really great if there was at least a leaderboard, or this game would be really great if there was, co-op or multiplayer or something like that? Do you feel like when that's not there that you feel like you're wind up missing something?
On my case, I wouldn't really think about it. Like, um, I do see a way to externalize how well you did on, for example, Outlast, because if you do a speed run, that might be a way, but on such a game, what I aim for is actually to enjoy the environment and the story that is being told. I wouldn't be uh, thinking about competing with other people.
Okay, so you're able to kind of when you know what the design point of the experience was, you're able to step away from considerations of competitive and performance aspects and just enjoy the game for what it is, basically.
Definitely.
Okay, and how about you, Rach?
There's still achievements.
What about a game that doesn't have any achievement,
I
though?
don't play those. All games have achievements or trophies or in-game achievements. Every game has it now.
Not really.
Well,
I'm
she's
a console gamer.
yes.
I don't have a PC. I have a Mac. And even like when I have games that I play on my Mac, they still have some sort of achievement system. Either whether it be in-game or not. So the only games that don't have achievements or trophies or something are on the 360, the indie games, and I don't mess with them because they suck. Half of them suck anyway because they let anything on there, I swear.
Right, and that even surprises me because I didn't realize that. I thought the standard for all. Well, no, I guess I faintly and vaguely remember that seeing and hearing about the differences in the game content spec for Xbox 360 games, and I do vaguely remember that the indie games didn't have all of the requirements that retail releases and Xbox
Every
Live
now
Arcade
and
games
then,
did.
every now and then you find a good indie game, but it on the Xbox 360 marketplace, but it's really rare.
Yeah,
Like it's really hard to find a good game
right. Well,
that's worth purchasing. I mean, they're only like $1 or something. Some of
right.
them, and they're
And
really stupid.
and this is the thing that's like at the tier below Xbox Live Arcade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like the only real indie game that I play is called The Impossible Game, and even that has a leaderboard because it shows you how long your friends lasted
okay.
in that game before they tried to throw their controller out the window.
And that
Um,
yeah, that thing is a complete, I mean almost completely uncurated, non-curated experience, right? I mean, people get their stuff in there and they can sell it for whatever they want, and it's not
yeah,
really
pretty
yeah,
much.
right.
I mean, you find a good one every now and then, but most of them are just stupid. So I mean, they still have achievements.
Right.
But I don't know. Like I enjoy single player games a lot because I don't like people. I deal with people all day, every day. I really don't like them. So there's still achievements, so that your question is invalid to me.
No, and I actually understand your point in there because I am kind of an achievement whore.
I am.
And
I have been
but
for a long time.
but it is not something that I will like. If I love a game, like even if I love a game, I'm not gonna like um try to get it to get the 100% of them. At some point I might get like bored or get over it, and I'll leave it in there. For example, like Skyrim is one of my main
God,
examples.
Skyrim was horrible.
It has like 80 different achievements. I got to like
Yeah,
40 something and I was like, okay, there are new games.
yeah. Yeah, like some of them it gets a little ridiculous. I'm not a big on perfecting games, but I like getting as many as I can. Um,
Oh,
'Cause
and actually, when it came to Skyrim, I was trying to catch up with a friend that has all of them, but I was like, okay, no, screw it.
yeah, it depends on the game, the achievement list because I am a college student, so I can't really sit down and dedicate as much time to games as I would like to. But like games like Minecraft, oh, I 100%ed that thing. I'm working on 100% it on the PS3. I'm gonna do it on the PS4 and the One because I'm crazy.
Oh, I could never stand Minecraft.
Oh, I love Minecraft so much.
I just
Like,
have no creativity.
I think we talk about this all the time, man. Like I love Minecraft so much. I will play Minecraft for hours.
So, John, let me ask you, did you ever play, 'cause somebody on the staff recently mentioned this. Maybe it was Ryan. Um, did you ever play the PC game, The Movies?
I haven't.
Okay, because that might be. I don't know if that's on Steam or it's probably more likely to be available via Good Old Games or Amazon digital downloads. But that might be a game that lets you kind of stretch your your uh, your inner little director
Creativity.
and
Creativity.
yeah, yeah. And well, I'm sorry, Rachel. I was trying to come up with something more creative than just saying
More
creativity.
creative than creativity.
That might be something you can get into to kind of stretch yourself out. It's this little oh man, it's kind of like a cross between The Sims and
Sims is awesome.
and like what was that game called? And Caesar, because there's kind of some city building elements to it as far as just like building out different facilities on your studio lot. But basically you grow and groom actors and like manage their careers, and part of what you do is you actually have to like create and set up movies within the simulator and shoot them and then market them and then get them to the theater and earn revenue. So, um, so
I'm sold now.
yeah, that game,
Now, now I'm gonna have to look for that, like seriously.
yeah, it came out.
I'm intrigued.
It's
I want it.
It's
I want it.
it's pretty old.
Where's Amazon?
It's pretty old. I want to say it's like 9 years old or something like that. But if you can get a hold of a copy that's playable on modern operating systems, it would be pretty awesome, and it might be like a gateway drug for you into Minecraft.
Oh, I love creativity
I
games.
don't think anything will get me into Minecraft though.
You have to have a specific creativity for something like Minecraft. I mean, like,
And you have to like those like
Voxels.
boxes, like seriously.
you
I
can
can
get a mod and make it not look bad.
I don't really mod games. Like I even know that there are
It's
a
a
lot of amazing mods for Skyrim, and I didn't want to ruin the game.
Minecraft is not really a mod. It's a texture pack. I mean, Mojang is all up for it. They put out texture packs for the PS3 and the 360. Like,
I mean, really, at the end of the day, I mean, you could argue that that's what Minecraft is. It's just one huge
yeah, mod.
mod or mod toolbox. So, so John, the movies came out in 2005. So yeah, it's
Oh, please tell me that Steam has it.
I can check real quick.
Yeah, like I love creativity games. Like I usually play The Sims, and I don't actually play The Sims. I play build a house, make my sim, and then get bored because I have to sit there and watch them live. No, I want to build the house.
Yeah.
and
Now
live in it.
now that's interesting because I guess part of my question on how do you measure gaming performance. Part of what's in that too is and this is really going to reveal some more of my OCD is the further gamification of games. So So I guess another way that, I measure performance or I evaluate how good I'm doing at a game is sometimes I arbitrarily, for no good damn reason, like just make up some aspect of the game that I decide I want to be good at. Like Rachel, you and I have talked about like inventory management, right? It's
hmm
it's
Yeah.
dangerous for us to get into a game that
Yeah.
has
Really is.
inventory management because I make the game the inventory management, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I'm very OCD about my inventory management too. Like even in Minecraft, everything has to line up, and it's really it drives my friends crazy when they're playing with me. I'm like, hold on, hold on, hold on. I gotta get my swords in a line. I gotta get this in a line. But yeah.
yeah, sorry, I'm looking up.
I was checking on Steam and I didn't find it.
No, it's
I'm sad.
it's not.
I'm pretty sure you can find it somewhere.
So it is on Amazon and it is available as a PC game download but for Mac.
Ew.
So they actually
Hey,
so
hey.
which is really strange.
I'm not gonna take that
Don't
ew
throw
back.
that
So they do have
back. Sure.
they have the retail boxed version available for the PC for $9, $5 from some places.
I'm so sad because that would like the game could cost $5,
Hmm.
but ordering it to come here
Right, right.
will turn it into like 60.
Well, and the other thing is, I mean, it's a sketchy proposition to order a retail boxed version of a game that came out on disc 9 years ago and hope that it will be compatible. If a game's available for digital download, typically that means the provider has done some additional things to it to make sure it's playable on modern operating systems. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm sad.
yeah, that is too
Well, I'm
bad.
sure if the Mac version's available, the PC's available somewhere. You just need to find it.
Yeah, that's possible.
Or they just liked Apple better,
Well,
and
That's
went
possible too, because Apple
completely
is better.
against my philosophy, you know?
what's funny is look at what kind of game it is, right? I mean, it's a game that's highly oriented around creativity and specifically around movie making, which you could argue is what people use Macs for. Not necessarily everyday users, but I mean when I've had a Mac, that's why I bought a Mac. I bought it because it was easier and quicker for me to get to it and do my multimedia stuff. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
so
But I would never think of a Mac for gaming at all, like at all.
N Not really. Like, I have a Mac and I don't play games on it.
They,
Like, I
they
have
are
this
for
game.
designing. That's it.
well, I wouldn't think of it now just because of the way Apple has their product line situated. So to get a gaming capable 15-inch MacBook Pro now is $2,700, which I think is ridiculous. Um,
But still, not all games go to the Mac.
well, I'm about to tell you. So, um, so I bought a 15-inch MacBook Pro, the 2008 model, February 2008 model. Um, that one, they had a dedicated GPU in the $2,000 model, and I bought it for gaming. The reason I bought it for gaming was because at the time, what was available for PC was Windows Vista, and Windows Vista had numerous problems with graphics card drivers because NVIDIA and ATI had not done their jobs. So, um,
Well, Windows Vista was like one of the worst things to happen since Millennium.
well, I know that's how it played out. I don't personally believe that operating system was bad. I think again, I think the big problem was that hardware vendors didn't have their crap together with GPU drivers, so you would wind up seeing well with hardware drivers, so you would wind up seeing a lot of application and a lot of system crashes. Um, and granted, admittedly, maybe Vista was culpable for not handling them as gracefully and allowing those hardware crashes to drag the system down. But but by and large, I felt like they were the drivers. And 2 months after I bought my MacBook Pro, um, and Windows Vista Service Pack 1 became available, I bought like a 17-inch Gateway gaming laptop, and that was running Windows Vista, and that thing ran perfectly and was like my main gaming machine for for 2 years afterwards with absolutely no problems running Windows Vista. So that's just my little thing.
Yeah, I haven't had a Windows since Windows XP.
Yeah.
I like it that way. Well, I have a Windows 8 tablet, but I don't count that because I use that as a tablet.
Right.
If Windows XP still had support, I would be totally still on XP.
Really? See, I find that it's just so. I mean, I know that there's some comfort with Windows XP, but there's absolutely no doubt whatsoever in my mind that Windows 8 pound per pound performs better. Right? It's just a faster operating system.
Not for me, actually. I have Windows 8 and I still prefer XP.
Really,
Like,
for gaming.
Yeah, I
Huh.
can run like even on a virtual machine that I have, it runs smoother than Windows 8.
Huh. Hmm.
Yeah,
Like
like I
now, a
said,
lot of games I wouldn't be able to run a lot of games on Windows XP because they are not made
Right.
for XP. But if it was possible, I would keep XP.
Huh.
yeah, like I said, I haven't had a Windows since XP. I don't even know how to navigate those things anymore. Like it's like
Don't worry, I don't know how to navigate Windows 8 yet. I have had it for like 5 months.
See, I'm still just very surprised by it because so my big thing, and I'm sorry, Rachel. You could probably go grab like a cup of hot chocolate or something. um, so Windows XP. So in order to get and maybe hardware now has just overcome some of the inherent performance problems in Windows XP. But I mean, Windows XP is what caused me to do things like minimize the number of icons on my desktop, and figure out how to use power toys, and like because I was on XP like back in the days of dial-up modems, like how to tweak a dial-up modem to make sure you could get the maximum internet performance. Whereas so all these types of crazy things to get, diving deep into like the video driver configuration settings to optimize perform like just I mean, and it was neat because I learned a lot about like computers and stuff, but now I go and I grab a Windows 8 PC, I yank that sucker out of the box, slap it on a desk, boot it up, and I'm gaming, and I don't tweak it, I don't, and it run, and to me they run great out of the box and provide all the performance I need.
I don't know. I'm actually still like not completely sold on that. For example, I am not really going to use Windows 8 for developing purposes.
Sure, yeah, that I can, yeah, I mean, unless you're going to put it in a VM, I can completely understand that.
Exactly. So like on XP, I could do absolutely anything and everything I wanted to.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
on Windows 8, I have a lot of compatibility issues with like everything.
right, right, right.
Which is kind of weird because the operating system, even though it is really new compared to any other operating system, it has been out for quite a while, which should have already solved all those issues, and it hasn't.
Yeah, 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 I can see that. Okay, so I'm gonna take the fight away from the operating system discussion, and let
And let's include Rachel again.
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh, I was playing my game.
So let's get Rachel back in it and run through our playlists. So Rachel, what have you been gaming on recently?
Oh well, what I'm playing right now is OctoDad on the PS4.
So please tell me and the other listeners slash viewers, whichever, what that game is about, because I keep hearing it talked about, but the title puts it in that zone of things that I will typically not go read up.
Well, it's about this guy, and he's like an octopus, but he falls in love with a human lady, and they get married, and he's trying to hide that he's an octopus. So like it starts out where you're late, you're running late for your wedding, and you have to get dressed in a tux and tie, and you have to navigate around, and it's really funky.
Okay.
And you also have to stop from being discovered that you're an octopus.
Right.
And like the part I'm at right now, his wife and their kids, oddly enough, their 2 kids, completely human. Don't know how that happened, but oddly enough, completely.
So does this play kind of like an adventure game?
No. Well, kind. I don't know. The way you do it on the PS4 is the triggers control his legs.
Okay.
And the bumpers control his arms.
Okay.
And you walk him around, and it's really funky because he's an octopus. He doesn't have the bones that human people do.
Okay.
So he can't just walk around like human people do.
Right.
I think that game was developed thinking about getting it to children, but it worked out differently because now everyone wants to play it. Like, I want to play it.
I wanted to play it too.
It's so much fun. It looks so much fun that it is not just for the children.
Yeah. Like, I don't play PC games, so I never got to play it. And when they said it was coming to PS4, I was like, oh, yay, I'm going to go play it. It's really, really fun, and it's quirky, too. Like, at the part I'm at, his wife and his 2 kids had talked him into going to the aquarium, which he thinks is prisons and for fish and all that. And you have to stay away from the biologists because they know a fish when they see one. So
because they are not retarded and they can see when an octopus
is an octopus.
Is an octopus. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm still wondering how the hell did he have 2 perfectly human kids.
A boy and a girl, perfectly human, 100% human. Like, okay.
They might have one tentacle somewhere.
I don't know. It's a little weird.
And,
but it's funny and quirky and cute.
And most importantly, it actually gives you something to play on your PlayStation 4 so that it's not just sitting on your shelf collecting dust.
To play on my PlayStation 4, thank you, mister.
Whatever.
Well, there's Infamous Second Son as well.
I still need to play that. I keep forgetting I own that.
I know. I mean,
I would totally buy a PS4 just to play that game.
Nothing.
No.
So here we go. You're gonna pull me down this road. So I just don't know what people are doing. Like that whole story, and we're gonna get to the news here in a little bit, but that whole story of PlayStation 4 has sold 7 million units, and I'm like, yeah, and so there's 7 million people playing Infamous Second Son and watching Netflix. I'm like, because I don't know what the hell.
I watch Netflix too, but I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm like,
I watch Netflix on everything.
I'm like,
they are also playing Outlast.
They should have finished Outlast by now. That game is only like 6 hours.
It's okay. They can replay it.
No, who's come on, seriously, who's going to replay that? Nobody wants to replay that. It's like it would be like rewatching a horror movie.
The thing is, right now they might be replaying it because the DLC comes soon.
Yeah.
See, I have 17 games on my PS4.
There you go.
Yeah, but I mean, so you have like 3 retail games and then 14 digital downloads from the.
They're
from the
mostly
store?
digital downloads from the store.
Right.
I mean, but they're full retail games like Killzone and Battlefield and Final Fantasy Realm Reborn.
Yeah, that's the good thing about this generation. I believe that they are enforcing more the idea of having both a physical and digital form of like every game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sony definitely is. They're predominantly, from what I've seen, is when something hits retail, it is available day and date.
It is
digitally.
It is available the same day digitally. They're working on getting it available at midnight the day it comes out. They're working on that.
And right now they're still charging the same price, right? It's still $50. I think I have heard that their intention is, they need to get a volume of those sales going, and once they feel like there's steady, predictable revenue available, that then they can start looking at reducing prices for the digital versions.
And you still won't get me to repeat what I just said on PlayStation Network.
That's fine. That's fine. I won't make you repeat it.
You're not going to.
Eventually, the truth will be out.
It will not. No. I love my physical copy collector's editions.
I know,
Shut up.
but yet you have but yet you have 17 games for your PlayStation 4, and most of those are digital downloads of retail games.
That's because I'm lazy, okay? Like another game that's on my playlist is Dragon Age 2, right?
Okay.
See, my copy of Dragon Age 2 just disappeared.
Right.
I don't know what happened to it.
Mm-hmm.
The box is here. The
Okay.
game is not. So I wanted to play Dragon Age 2 on Saturday. Really, really bad. And I'm sitting here going, I could go down to GameStop and get me a copy, and it's only like $12. Or I can buy this digital download for $20.
Right.
Really?
Right.
Yeah, I'll spend the extra $6 to stay in my pajamas.
So
not have to go anywhere.
So now you just so one of the things that I'm doing right now, and John, I apologize. This is one of the reasons I have not been able to write anything for the site this week. I could lie to you and tell you it's because I'm working on a review, but that would be disingenuous.
We're all busy,
Yeah.
aren't we?
Yes, yeah. I mean, this is probably just going to be, this is for this half week before I go out to C2E2, and then when I get back, hopefully it will be business as usual. But one of the things that I have been doing is I've been wiping and resetting some of my mobile devices because I'm actually trying to get rid of some stuff and get my digital footprint down because every other week up until this one, since I joined the site, I've been playing games so much that I just don't have the time to warrant having, more than one laptop and more than one tablet and that kind of stuff. But Rachel, what you just mentioned is now when you get super high speed and low drag, you can get super lazy because you can download this PlayStation app to your smartphone or tablet, and then like remotely and not even in the vicinity of your PlayStation, you can pop that app open and buy games and push it to your device and tell it to download it. And then like when you come home from work, then you're like, here's this brand new game that my thing digitally downloaded while I wasn't anywhere near it.
Is there an app for that?
There is. There's the PlayStation.
There's an app for that.
There's a PlayStation app. I'm downloading it right now. Yeah.
That's very
That's
dangerous.
Kind of.
Because I really never want to stop at GameStop on the way home. I just kind of want to come home. Or like I've been banished back to the night shift.
Mm-hmm.
So I get off work at like 10:30.
Right.
And GameStop is closed.
Right.
And I can't exactly go before work and leave a GameStop bag in my car because then my window will get busted out and it'll get stolen.
Right. So, John, you know what that means? I mean, what this app does is it essentially makes your PlayStation 4 function just like Steam, the Steam app in your PC.
Man, I don't like them for that. They suck.
I'm not quite sure about what I think about that specific app.
It is. I think it's flipping awesome. Like
awesome. I like that. I like that. It's flipping awesome.
I mean, it's just. I mean, that's awesome. And I need to because it's been 4 years since I owned an Xbox device, and now I have the Xbox One. I thought I know Microsoft allows you to go to the website on your PC and do the same thing, but I don't know if they have an app. I would think that by now they have an app.
Hey, so Mr. What are you doing with your PS4? What are you doing with your one? With the no video games available for? I got like 3.
Well, here's the killer difference with the Xbox One, right? So when you launch a console, you should have 3 basic staple games, right? 3 basic staple apps. You should have a good first-person shooter. You should have a good, I don't know, whatever you want, platformer or third-person action game, and you should have a racing title. The Xbox One has Forza, and quite honestly, and I know it's not the case for every gamer, but with a racing simulation with like nearly 100 cars available, I could probably survive on just that game for quite a few months. For a console that's not my only gaming system. So, that all being said, what I just lodged was a completely irrational and hypocritical argument, and it in no way justifies the purchase of an Xbox One over a PlayStation 4. The situation is the same on both of those consoles. There's just nothing to play on them in comparison to historical launches. throughout the
Well, it
entire
depends
history.
on what kind of gamer you are. Because like I said, I have, 17 games on mine.
You're right. You're right.
You know what I mean? Like, what appeals to me probably won't appeal to you.
Well, and you and Dre and I talked about it, and I do admit, that the other difference in my perspective is, all those indie games that are on the PlayStation 4, you guys haven't played those because you're not PC gamers. Whereas
Right.
when I look at that library and the rationale or justification of the PlayStation 4 based on that, my response is all of those games were already available on the PC, and I've either played them or have them in my Steam backlog. So, I didn't need to buy a PlayStation 4 to play those.
Yeah, see, like me, like I was talking about OctoDad. I never could play that because I don't have a PC.
Right.
And I don't like gaming on my laptop anyway, unless it's The Sims.
Right.
In which I still is annoying because I need to get a mouse.
Right. So back to, I never did this, what I was saying about The Sims. So the way I would make that a game that wasn't really part of the game is my whole thing was to get a family into that big house at the end of whatever, the Sim town or whatever it is that you live in as your first neighborhood. So that was always my objective, because whatever house that was at like the very end of the neighborhood in the cul-de-sac was like this really super expensive house. So my whole gamification was making 9 families and then basically making them all compete against each other to get enough money to move into the big house.
See, I'm mean. My goal was I would build a house and I'd make the prettiest house ever, and I'd move my Sims in there and get bored and then delete the doors. And then the bookcase too, so they can't learn anything. And then watch them wet the floor and set the house on fire.
So for you, it's basically a torture simulator.
Right. Pretty much.
So,
I can't do it. They won't let me torture real people.
So John, what was your what's your misgiving or concern over the PlayStation Store app? Just out of curiosity.
Security.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the purchasing mechanism is. I know. So what I personally do, and we've talked about this a bunch on this podcast. But basically, I don't personally use my credit card anywhere online. I have a card registered to my PayPal account, and I either use that or I go buy, for the PlayStation, for every place that I shop, basically, that has its own gift cards, I go to like a grocery store and get, cards for, the iTunes store and Google Play and Amazon and Steam. And I just keep like one of those cards around for each of those services so I can plus my account balance back up when it runs out. So for me, from the PlayStation Store app, I either go to a PC and add money to my wallet through PayPal, which is awesome. I did that last weekend when I bought my PlayStation 4. Rachel, when we were in a chat at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, I gotta go add some money to my wallet for my PC so I can buy some games for this thing. But that's what I did. I came upstairs to my PC, logged into my PlayStation Store account, added funds to my wallet via PayPal, and then actually from my PC went to the PlayStation Store, purchased those games, pushed them to download to my PS4, and then went to bed. And then when I got up the next morning, they were available. So, but yeah, John. So, I mean, if your concern is, do you go into that app and like enter, manually enter your credit card? I figure you can do that, but that's just not the way that I use that.
Yeah, it's well if you're using the prepaid cards and so on, it might not be all that bad. But I'm not quite sure. That's why I would need to check on the app first to make up my mind about it.
Right. Okay, so I'm sorry, Rachel.
What were we originally talking about? Okay, playlist.
Yeah.
Okay, so OctoDad. I just started playing that a few hours ago.
Okay.
I've been playing a lot of Dragon Age 2.
Okay. And you're playing that in a ramp up for the release of Dragon Age Inquisition, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Dragon Age is one of my favorite franchises. I love it.
That's that's a fall, is that a November release this year?
October.
October.
October 7th.
Okay. All
Trust me, I know it.
right.
I've been playing a lot of that. And I also played some Dead Nation with Dre. And man is still trying to make me play Mercenary Kings, and it's just not happening.
Yeah.
So I got a little bit of that because he keeps trying to go, hey, you should go play Mercenary Kings. No.
Okay. All right. Anything else on your playlist?
No, that's it, which is a lot for me. I've said screw homework.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. So John Heatz, what have you been gaming on?
Well, mostly on my PS3, I am going through a classic, Heavy Rain.
I love that
Ah.
game.
Did we talk about that? It seems like you didn't talk about that during the retrocast. Oh, that's right. You didn't make it to the retrocast. That's right.
I
Okay.
didn't make it.
Okay. All right. All right. No biggie. No biggie. That wasn't a zinger. I just forgot.
I just forgot.
Yeah, I am going through that game. It's really amazing. I'm actually working on an article about it, but there is a huge issue. I got the game from a friend,
Hmm.
and it seems that it is way too scratched to go past a certain chapter.
Oh,
Man.
So
that sucks.
when
Yeah.
I get to the point in which you are trying to get out of the car when they throw it to the river,
Okay.
it gets stuck in there.
Yeah. So that was one of the reasons why I hated. So when I was on Netflix, I insisted on keeping the DVD rental part of my subscription for a long time, and I just remember that was particularly horrific when I would be playing a movie and it would hit a point in the movie and it would be so scratched that it would not get past that point. So I can only imagine it has to be like 5 times as painful when that happens in a game.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's why I don't like physical copies of games. They get lost, they get scratched, they get to be unusable.
Yeah, yeah, wow.
So that's why I feel better when I get digital copies.
Right,
They're not gonna
right,
get stuck right before the ending of the game.
right, right, right.
Besides Heavy Rain, I've been trying to level up my newly acquired Warframe,
Okay.
which for the people that do not know about Warframe, in there is a lot to do, and you actually start with one character or Warframe, but you are able to build another Warframe for yourself.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
And you can actually build as many as you want.
Okay. Are you
The issue is to get the slots for them.
okay? Are you able to customize like your paint job and appearance on those?
You are. I actually have my favorite Warframe that it's the Rhino,
Okay.
and it comes in a kind of goldish color. So I customized it to be like a ruby sort of color
Okay.
with the edges in golden.
Okay.
So it looks really good.
Okay.
What else? I've been playing Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Okay.
It
I
is
like
a
that
lot
game.
of sailing for me. Like a lot of sailing.
So,
I'm,
Rachel, have you completed that game yet?
No, I get distracted. Like, that's why I haven't finished, like, I played Skyrim. I've never finished the story in Skyrim.
Right.
Because
oh,
I always go, oh, it's over there! And I go over there, and 5 hours later I have to stop. The Black Flag, I like it so much, I just end up running around, humming the Pirates theme in my head. Trying to sell my boat. Or, like,
I'm actually
playing
getting
online.
bored of so much sailing. Like seriously.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I like pirates. Almost as much as I like zombies, but I like zombies more than pirates.
They should have Hook as a playable character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can play him online.
No, but I want it on the main campaign.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, you can play as him online, I think.
I don't play online. Like,
I
uh,
do.
I don't know if you guys checked the article Ryan published earlier today about him hating um, multiplayer trophies.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw
I
that,
saw
yeah.
that.
I
Yeah.
totally agree with him. Like, I try to get the trophies when it comes to PlayStation or achievements when it comes to Steam, but I do not even take the time to try the multiplayer aspect of pretty much any game. I do not like it. I was an RPG player for a long time, and I actually left because on every single RPG that I played online,
Mhm.
communities were really awful.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm like curated of trying to play multiplayer games
Right.
unless it
Yeah.
is like a co-op and I can actually play it with my friends or something. For example, Warframe, it doesn't have this PvP aspect as much as on other games, and this is a game that you can play alone or online, but when you play online it is co-op. Everyone is on the same team.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. And I'm
Yeah.
a much bigger fan of co-op than competitive.
Yeah, like, I like competitive, but that's why I have Call of Duty and Battlefield.
Right, right.
I don't really, like, I like
How do you survive playing Call of Duty?
Very good question. I don't know.
So, Rachel, your Battlefield 4, is that for the PS4 or the Xbox One?
Yes, PS4.
Sure. Okay. All right.
It's a duh. Come on now. I have no friends on
That's
my
right.
one
That's right.
except you,
Yeah.
and I have Titanfall, and I have nobody to play it with, so it's over there collecting dust.
Yes, because I don't have Titanfall. Like I said, we should check out Forza though potentially.
Yeah.
So, so John, anything else on your playlist?
I don't think I'm playing that much right now. Like, um, I sometimes go for a few minutes on other games, but I'm not like paying as much attention as I should.
Right.
For example, on Splinter Cell, Blacklist, or Tomb Raider 2013, those kind of games. But I'm not like trying to beat them or anything.
Right. 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 Okay. So on my playlist, I've been playing 1954 Alcatraz on the PC. It's an adventure game. If you follow the site, you hopefully saw that I posted a Skype interview that I did with the game's developer. Um, so that's available on the site if you look for everything with the podcast tag on it. Uh, and then I played a good amount of time of Fleet Command, which Ryan and I talked about in the Gamers Here Retrocast that we recorded this past Sunday. Although that video cast is not yet posted, but hopefully I'll get around to that this week before I head out to C2E2. Um, and then probably the two most interesting things is I've been working on a review of T.E.C. 3001, which is ostensibly an endless runner that came out for the PC in mid-April. It's got 41 levels in the single-player campaign. I am through level 30, but I think I've experienced enough of the game that I can do a decent write-up on it. I don't know how many gamers are going to play through all 41 levels of that thing because the last few levels get really tough. So the game is labeled as an endless runner, but it's really, particularly as you get later in the game, it really plays a lot more like a platformer. Um, but it's awesome. It's the only game like it that I can remember having ever played where it's tough and it's a lot of trial and error, especially the first time that you run through a map. But something about it keeps me from like rage quitting and like throwing a controller down on the floor or anything like that. So, and I am playing that on the PC. And then the other thing, and Ryan and I talked about this as well on the Retrocast. We so John and Ryan and I got together and determined that for the Retrocast we would all go back and try to do a playthrough of Uncharted, um, the original for the PlayStation 3, which is a game that I never played through in its entirety. Um, so I went back and started a run of that last week. I'm about two-thirds through the game, and Ryan and I had a pretty awesome conversation about it, like I said in the retrocast. So keep an eye out for that on the site because hopefully we'll get that video posted here. If not this week, definitely early next week.
I saw you playing that earlier.
What's that? Uncharted?
Uncharted, yeah.
So how do you, just out of curiosity, do you, when you see me online, do you key in that I'm on my PS3 or my PS4?
Yeah,
Okay.
usually.
Okay. All right.
It all, like the PS3, it's weird because I don't see people online that are online on the PS4 and my PS3.
Okay.
Like, if you're online on your PS4
Mm-hmm.
and I'm on my PS3, I won't see you online.
Right.
But if I'm on my PS4, I can see that you're online if you're playing your PS3, and I can determine if you're on your 4 or 3,
Okay.
depending on what game you're playing.
Okay.
Like, one of my friends is playing The Last of Us right now, so I know he's on the PS3
Right.
instead of his
right.
4. So, it's
Right.
weird.
Speaking of The Last of Us,
Mm-hmm.
there's something I was going to say about it.
That's coming to PS4.
It is,
I'm so excited.
but
Zombies.
yes.
Apocalypse.
However, the lead artist of The Last of Us is left Naughty Dog. Yet
Yeah.
yet
That's
another
the problem.
departure of a high-profile employee departing that studio. Um, so you know, the internet has been very divided on this topic. It's been going on for a while now because the director of Uncharted 4 left the studio, as well as the lead writer, who's responsible for kind of scripting out the plot and the story flow of a video game, also left Naughty Dog. And everybody was very quick to say, don't overreact. It's not indicative of a problem at Naughty Dog. It's not indicative of a problem with Sony Computer Entertainment. Now this is the third one, though. Where are you guys sitting on this? Is it just kind of, just a set of coincidental events occurring very close together, or is it indicative that there's something going on at Naughty Dog or on a greater scale within Sony Computer Entertainment?
I'm worried about this studio.
See, I'm on the opposite end. I'm like, I just think, I don't think it's oh my god, I can't say the word.
Indicative?
That one, to a bigger problem. Just because a few people leave, I mean, people leave and move jobs all the time.
The thing is that the ones that have left have been like really important people on the studio and people that have been there for a long time.
Right.
That's the thing. Like if it was that like people that do not have that important position on the studio was leaving, I wouldn't be worried.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
people that are high up the ladder are the ones leaving.
See, I think I'm in it like, if something's happening at the studio, there's not much control we have over it. And we'll find out eventually.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we're definitely particulating. We are definitely participating in the normal rampant speculation that all game journalists do, particularly on podcasts. So
I'm just like, wait and see if it folds out. I mean, it could be something more bigger. It really could. But then again, it also could not.
yeah, I just
It's not like the whole staff is jumping ship at the same time. The whole staff.
well, my thing is, I mean, I don't know that we would know. If three high profile people leave, and and in their wake, 10, mid-grade or low-profile people leave, we might not ever hear about like the middles and the lows. We may only be hearing about the headliners. Um, I think what's most telling to me is the art director who left and the director who left. Those guys didn't go there. I mean, they didn't leave to go to equivalent level jobs or basically to sidestep into a promotion at another company. I mean, um, Justin Richmond, who's the game director on Uncharted 4, left to take some job working on League of Legends. Um, and which to me is not. I mean, League of Legends is definitely popular, but I, I'm pretty confident that if I picked a random sample of gamers, let's say particularly console gamers, most of them would know about Uncharted and very few would know about League of Legends. Um, and then Nate Wells, who was the art director or lead artist and or art director, I can't be sure which, on The Last of Us, is left to go work at an indie studio. Those are moves that don't sound to me like people were looking for like their next big thing. Those are moves that sound to me like people who were getting bent out of shape about something in the system and were looking for games with more creative freedom. Is how I read, those two moves. Um, like you said, Rachel, maybe it's nothing. And I'll
Yeah.
say, what I can definitely say is I don't feel like these departures are that the net result of them is going to be that Uncharted 4 is going to suck. Um, I don't think that's the case. I think there's enough talent by all means at Naughty Dog. Uh, it makes me curious because I will say that what these things feel like in combination with things Sony has said, and in combination with some of the financial problems Sony has had, um, it would not surprise me if there is a push or pressure at Naughty Dog to go to annual releases for some of their properties. Um, and that kind of heavy-handed corporate directive, I can see being something that would cause certain members of the creative team to want to leave. So that's my theory. My theory is that they're being pushed to go to annual releases of either Uncharted or The Last of Us, um, and that some of those guys were like decided that they didn't agree with that. So we are about out of time. Did either one of you have any particular news story that you felt was critical and important that we get out there on the table before we try and wrap up?
Not me.
Uh, yeah. My big news story was that Dragon Age got announced,
Yeah,
the release
yeah.
date today.
I'll also say, Rachel, if you can get your hands on I don't know if this month's or if it's last month's issue of the official Xbox magazine. They ran a really good article in there about Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So,
love Dragon Age. I'm so excited.
so you might want to check that out.
Yeah.
The only other news story that I saw that I'll just call out and people can go looking for it is apparently in the wake of the NPD sales information, Major Nelson probably said on his Twitter feed or maybe in a press release that basically don't worry about the difference in the sales numbers between PlayStation 4 and Xbox One hardware. Um, this is a marathon and not a sprint, and Microsoft knows what they need to do, to I'll put words in his mouth to essentially win this console generation. Um, and the only thing I'll say about that is it's very funny how that shoe is now on the other foot. That with the 360 and the PS3, that was Sony's line, right? It's not a sprint. We're gonna sell units of the PlayStation 3 for 10 years. Uh, so don't worry about the 360 having higher sales numbers. So Rachel, did you see this news story or have any feelings about the difference in sales numbers for the PS4 versus the Xbox One?
The only thing I really saw a difference of sales numbers is the what was posted about how they have a few million more on the PS4. I don't even know.
Yeah, so the PS4 has sold 7 million,
Yeah,
and
that's the number I was thinking of.
yeah, and Microsoft responded to that basically by saying that they have sold 5 million.
PS4 wins.
Yeah.
Dre made a comment the other day that is really interesting. I went from going to an Xbox fangirl to PS4 fangirl really quickly after the announcement of the One. Really quickly.
Right, and that's kind of one of the big conversations that goes on these days is you know in the wake of those comments that were made, lots of people speculated that, oh well, that was just Microsoft talking trash, or whatever, or screwing things up before the launch, and once the launch happens, the hardware and the games will live on their own merit, and I don't know that that's necessarily the case. Some people's feelings and some people's fondness for the brand were damaged,
Yeah.
at those announcements, and that may not be recoverable, or may not be recoverable until it's too late to really have
Right.
any impact.
Yeah, that's how I am because when they announced the stuff that they were doing with the new console, and it just kind of killed any expectation I had for the new Microsoft console. And I don't completely trust them anymore, even though I own a one.
Well, right, but it's and this was something I actually really funny. So I tend to, because I sometimes write a lot of stuff offline, so I have these archives and archives and archives of things that I had written and posted to a blog, and I came across the article that I wrote the week after the weekend that I made the decision that I was not buying another Xbox 360, and I was done with the platform. Um, but you know, even even going back to the PlayStation 2 Xbox, and then again on the PlayStation 3 360, I had both of those consoles, but one console was typically kind of the lead console, um, because that would be if something were available on both, I would always go buy it for my original Xbox, or my 360. Um,
Yeah, that's how I was in last gen when I had the 360 and a PS3.
right, you would
If
always buy it on
something
the
was available
360.
for both, I'd buy it for the 360.
Right,
Now, if something's available in both, I'll always buy it for the PS4.
right, yeah. And so my feeling is that we're not the only two gamers who kind of approach things that way, and
Hmm.
those are things that can damage a
I do.
company's ability to.
I think last year with their announcement of the One and everything that they were going to do, I think it really did damage them.
Yep. Yep.
I really do, and I think it's going to take a while for them to fix it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. My guess is their best bet to recover from that whole thing is to have some, like, really knocking them out of the park uh, platform exclusives that hit this holiday season.
Yeah. Which, honestly, I mean, it depends on E3, but I haven't seen too many console-specific ones that are that hitting. I mean,
Right. 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 No, I agree.
it's just going to take a while to get that trust back.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. Absolutely. So speaking of trust, we have probably expended whatever
We
trust.
lied when we said
1 hour.
when we said 1 hour, and we lied when we said we're just gonna mention this. You can go look it up for yourself.
Right, exactly. So, John, if people want to catch up with you via social media channels or read whatever you're writing, where can they follow you?
Well, all my social media has exactly my same name, John Heatz. So on Twitter, it's gonna be @John Heatz. Um, on Facebook, it's gonna be Gamersphere. Um, and I believe those are the main two because Google Plus, it's gonna be also the Gamersphere one. And yeah, that would be the way to follow me. Mostly to get more of a personal view of everything, it would be Twitter, but I do not tweet that much.
Right, right. And Rachel, how about you? Where should people catch up with you if they're trying to follow up with your content and hear what you're talking about?
I am known as Chemical X Rachel on all social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, Xbox, and PS3, and all of that. Yeah, that's pretty much. I haven't written much for the site yet because of stupid school.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay, and this is yet another podcast where, damn it,
Hey, you haven't said your
I did not say
information.
who I was. It doesn't matter. It's
Who
not.
are you?
But I am.
Introduce yourself.
So I am one of your co-hosts for the regular Joe Gamer podcast, Agasicles. If you want to catch up with what I'm writing, you can find most of my postings on video games on Gamersphere. That's gamersphere.com. And if you're trying to catch up with, follow me on social media, I am Agasicles on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Google+. So you can either check out any individual postings that I put there or just monitor those sites to know when I have posted something up on gamersphere.com. So either one of you guys have anything else that you want to throw out there before we wrap things up?
No?
No. Bye.
Okay, well, good conversation. Thanks a lot for joining in, John and Rachel. That is episode number 23. Another show of the regular Joe Gamer podcast is in the can, and we are out of here.